The negotiation process can be one of the most exciting parts of selling a home, but until you get there, you may be wringing your hands, worried that you won't be able to secure the deal. Will we be deciding on the best offer of many, or will we hear nothing but Welcome back, everyone. For those of you who don't know me already, my name is Blake Alewelt with the Bravo Ridge Group and eXp Realty. This video is part 6 in a series of short videos introducing a complete guide to selling your home. In the first couple videos, we covered the new normal of selling your home in today's market, the steps we could take to make sure your home sells for top dollar, how we can price your home, how we can advertise your home, and things we can do to show your home in its best light. In this video, we are going to cover how we can best negotiate to get the most out of your home. The negotiation process can be one of the most exciting parts of selling a home, but until you get there, you could be worried that you won't be able to secure the deal. If you do get just 1 or 2 offers and they're not as high as you'd hoped, what do? Here's how to navigate the real estate negotiation process. Number 1, get the offers in. If you're not in a rush to sell your house, it may make sense to see what offers roll in over a few months. But if you need to sell quickly or just don't want to wait, your real estate agent, whether it's myself or not, might be able to push things along by setting a deadline. If we list your price competitively, or if your home is in a popular neighborhood, we can expect multiple offers and should set that deadline. But you'll need to be confident that your home is priced right relative to its appeal. If all goes well, we can sell for over asking price. Number 2, the negotiation process begins. Once you have an offer in hand, you're probably scanning for one thing: the price. In our area, houses rarely sell for less than 95% of the asking price. The offers on your home may fall in that range, but don't rely on price alone. Every offer has 5 key components: price, closing assistance, closing date, buyer financing, and contingencies. Some offers may seem great on the surface, but significantly less so once you dig in. For instance, is the buyer asking for closing assistance? Often first-time buyers don't have enough money to cover the down payment and the closing costs, so they'll ask the seller to foot some of the bill. 2 to 3% of the total closing costs is a common request. If you agree, any assistance you give will lower your bottom line, so factor this amount into your asking price. The buyer's time frame to close may not seem like a big deal on the surface, but it can actually matter a lot, especially if you give the buyer a long leash. If the deal falls through, you'll have to put the house back on market and wait for a few more offers to come in. On the other hand, if the buyer wants to move in right away, you might be left scrambling and quite possibly temporarily homeless. Make sure the timeline works for your particular situation. Now let's cover the buyer's financing. Hopefully, the buyer's agent included a note verifying the buyer's financing and how much the buyer will put towards the down payment and earnest money deposit. The last thing you want is to accept an offer only to find out afterwards that the buyer can't come up with the necessary cash or get a loan. Finally, look over the contingencies, which give the buyer the option to back out of the deal if something goes wrong. The buyer may see the final sale is contingent on a home inspection, or he may want to move in early. Both requests are fairly standard and acceptable, but keep an eye out for buyers asking for too much. For example, it would be over the line for a buyer to ask a seller to wait more than 30 to 60 days for the property to go under contract. Number 3, when to counteroffer. The negotiation process doesn't end when the offer comes in. You always have the option to return the buyer's offer with a counteroffer of your own. You should always counter if the price is not what you are looking for, or if you can't support the amount of closing costs that they're looking for. But if you do, keep it reasonable. If the buyer was 15% below asking, they will probably not go up to the full asking amount, so consider being flexible with your price. You can always make it up in other ways. For example, submitting a counter with a slightly higher price and contingencies that may help you, like having the buyer waive an inspection to speed things along, might pay off in the end. If you don't agree with the buyer's contingencies, consider your position first before making the next step in the negotiation process. If your home is in a popular area, you have the advantage. Keep in mind the buyer may not accept your counter outright. You can play let's make a deal, but always consider if it's worth to keep countering for a small amount of money or a single contingency. And don't get trapped in a continuous loop. Consider the buyer side of things. These prospective buyers may be completely maxed out. To help you decide, I or your chosen listing agent can call the buyer's agent and hash it out with them. get some insight into the buyer's state of mind and whether they can budge. And that wraps up part 6 of the complete guide to selling your home. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below so you are notified when part 7 of the series is released, where we cover the steps involved once we have a buyer. As always, I will leave my contact information down in the description, so please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. I look forward to hearing from you.